Hey everyone, so I got another comparison video. This time we're looking at the Sony Xperia X Performance against the Apple iPhone 7. Now I already compared the X Performance against the 7 Plus, but I think it's more appropriate to compare the X Performance against the regular 7 because the regular 7 has smaller screen size, closer price range to the X Performance. So let's go and get started. I'm going to power both of them on at the same time. So the X Performance on the latest version of Marshmallow, and the iPhone 7 is on iOS 10. Now, as mentioning, the screen size on the X Performance is closer to 7 and 7 Plus. So on the X Performance, it's 5 inches 1080p, whereas on the iPhone 7, it's 4.7 inches, so it's 0.3 inches difference. Now, the resolution on the Xperia X Performance is better PPI at 441 PPI versus 326 on the 7. But you see here that the iPhone 7 loading up a lot quicker than the Xperia. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will ask, and yes, I will do this test with the Xperia XZ once that comes out. Very much looking forward to the phone, but unfortunately don't have it yet. Same with the X Compact. Do a speed test first that. And so let's just get right to it. Make sure everything's closed out. We're good. Good. Alright. So first up is Temple Run 2. And as usual, guys, I do expect the iPhone to outperform, especially in terms of the games. Apple devices are always better optimized just because developers have less that they need to optimize for, less devices. So you see here, easily winning Temple Run 2. Alright, we'll do Chrome now, actually. Usually we save it for later, but let's do it now. Alright, so you saw a little bit faster there on the iPhone, not by much. Let's do Nintendo. So faster there on the iPhone. These are all pages that I've been to. I'll do one more page I've been to, and then I'll do a new site. Because Google does save the pages, but it's still important because, usually you're going to the same website anyways. Well, I did 2.8 on the iPhone there, but it still ended up loading faster. Alright, let's do one I haven't been to. IMDb. Alright, here we go. Well, different things were on at different times. I think the iPhone may have been a little faster there. Let me do one more that I haven't been to. Oh, just AOL.com. Haven't been to that site in a long time. Again, faster on the iPhone. Alright, so let's look at more of the apps. And we will be covering more of these apps. We're also going to look at the Fingerprint Scanner, camera speed. This one goes to the X Performance, easily beating it in CNN. Alright, settings. A little faster on the iPhone looked like. What's the iFunny? Again, faster on the iPhone. Now, guys, I know a lot of you are going to say, that you're going to downplay the results here. And of course, this is just one of many tests that you can do. But still, give the iPhone credit. They really know how to optimize the apps, really know how to make them quick. Calculator. Clock. But as you can tell, both are very fast. You're only talking about a difference of a second or two at most. As you saw there, a little bit lag behind for the Xperia. Let's do eBay. Again, faster on the iPhone. Photos. Same result, Asphalt 8, which I expect to be once again the same. So looking at some of the other specs, both these have front-facing cameras of 13 megapixels on the X Performance, 7 megapixels on the iPhone. As you see there, loading up a lot quicker for Asphalt 8. Rear-facing camera on the X Performance, it's up there. Alright, so 32 megapixels versus 12 on the iPhone. Internally, for the X Performance, you have a Snapdragon 820 with 3 gigabytes of RAM. On the iPhone 7, you have an A10 chipset with 2 gigabytes of RAM. On the 7 Plus, you do have 3, but this is just the regular 7, so you have 2. In terms of the battery, 2700 on the Xperia, 1960 on the iPhone. Internal storage, it's either 32 or 64 on the Xperia. Either 32, 128, or 256 gigabyte internal storage on the iPhone. But on the Xperia, you do have micro SD card support. So, in my opinion, that's an awesome feature. Wish iPhone did it. But, of course, none of the iPhones have that. So, in terms of connection on the Xperia phone, you do have micro USB, not USB Type-C. On the iPhone, it's Lightning cable, Lightning port. Both of these are water resistant, although the Xperia is a higher certification, IP68. iPhone is IP67. Both have fingerprint scanners. Going to get to that in a second. Going to do a test. Both have stereo speakers. iPhone is located towards the bottom. Xperia, top and bottom, front facing. In terms of price, so the iPhone 7 is going to run you a little more, starting at $650 for the 32 gigabyte version. Xperia starts at $570, so around $80 cheaper for the Xperia. Also costs less if you're going to be if you want more storage. It's cheaper to get a micro SD card than to pay like $100 or whatever dollars to upgrade on Apple. And of course, on the X Performance, you also have a headphone jack, which is missing on the iPhone. So let's do some more tests. Let's do camera speed. And I do have a more in-depth camera video on the website. I actually have several if you want to check them out. On the channel, I meant to say, not the website. Alright, so it's going to test the camera speed right here. And again, the Xperia camera is 23 versus 12 on the iPhone. So more megapixels to process for the Xperia. And you can tell iPhone clearly faster. But of course, this is just one part of the camera. There's a lot more to it than just how fast pictures can be taken. And let's do we'll do fingerprint scanner test next. So for the iPhone, it is located here. Now this button is not an actual button like it was in years past. Now it's just kind of embedded in there, but when you press it, it just kind of vibrates, gives you a little bit of feedback, but it's not a button. Xperia, you have the button here on the side, home button, also doubles as a power button, also a fingerprint scanner. So let's do tests here. I think that the Xperia is a little bit faster, although it's not as accurate as you saw right there. It didn't register. And right there as well. But you see when it does work, which usually it does, I was a little unlucky. So you see clearly a little faster. iPhone has that voting animation. And the X Performance, one of the fastest phones I own in terms of fingerprint scanner. See, lightning quick. Although again, I have found that it's a little bit less accurate. Sometimes I have to kind of readjust my finger. Not a big deal. I mean, it kind of evens out, so it's a little bit faster, but you may need to readjust your finger every once in a while. Touch ID on the iPhone 7, excellent. Gets it almost 100% of the time. Xperia, I'd say it's probably close to 90%. But again, a little bit faster. And I'll play a brief sample for the stereo speakers. So this is what the ringer sounds like on both. and the Xperia. So I will do a full comparison, a full speaker comparison between the iPhone 7, the 7 Plus, and a bunch of other phones, including ones like the HC10, LG 5. So yeah, we'll do a more in-depth test. But I think that the iPhone may sound a little clearer to me. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, when I do that test, we'll have everything on the same tune, on like this. And just a look at the back of the phones. So the Xperia phone, you see brushed metal look at the back. Really nice looking design. iPhone is made of metal as well. Again, very nice design on the iPhone. And the Xperia phone, so in terms of comfort, I'll say that the iPhone is more comfortable, easier to hold. iPhone very much curved at the sides. Also thinner. So with the Xperia, now they have improved this compared to prior Xperia devices. So some Xperia devices in the past are really rectangle, like the edges were really rough. But with this, they have improved that. But still, compared to the iPhone, as you see here, so the iPhone clearly thinner, clearly better edges along the sides. Also a little bit smaller, but you expect that because it's a smaller screen. So I will say this. I'll say that both these phones, these are two of my favorite phones that I own. If I had a top three, I would say the iPhone 7 Plus, the Xperia X Performance, and the Galaxy Note 7. So not including like duplicates. Like, the 7 is close enough to the 7 Plus where I'm not going to count it twice. Same with the S7 Edge against the Note 7. But this is obviously pretty similar to the 7 Plus. So yeah, I would include it in the top three along with the X Performance and the Galaxy Note 7 or the S7 Edge, whichever one you prefer. There's a lot in common. They have water resistance. They have good cameras. So yeah, guys, really a lot going for both these phones. Can't really go wrong either way, in my opinion. Now, if you're interested in the Xperia, I will say to wait for the Xperia XZ, because I think that they made a lot of improvements, especially to the rear camera. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe for more content like this in the future. And let me know in the comment section what video you want to see next.